Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Ghost, and on this special edition, I have a great guest. He's a state champion. He holds school records in basically every category there is. Malik. What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Chilling. So, I wanted to get down and ask you, some questions about, your high school run, because, you're getting ready to go to Fresno State. So I wanted to see, like, how would you feel about like your success in high school? So the first thing that I want to ask you is, altogether, how do you feel? How do you feel about what you accomplished in high school?
Uh, it feels good. I mean, it's obviously special, and I was just grateful. I'm just grateful that I could, do what I could do. So, but altogether, it was amazing. It was a fun experience, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. If I go back and do it over, I would.
Who? So sophomore year, you don't play that much. You only have like I think 14 total rushing yards.
I was all defense, safety.
Yeah. So junior year, and I think like y'all sophomore year, I was only 2-9, something like that. Junior year, what do you feel changed going up to that junior season? Because then they put you as the starting tailback, and then you ended up with, let me see, you ended up with 1,400 yards rushing that year. So what do you feel changed?
Well, actually, for the first 5 games, I was only getting about 6 carries a game. And because they had my junior year, they had another guy in front of me. His name was Alan Johnson. They had him playing in front of me. He was a senior. So the first five games, I only had about 6 to 9 carries a game, where he had like 20 carries a game.
Yeah.
So, but my averages was way better. He'd have like 21 carries for like 86 yards, and I have 9 carries for like 97 yards. But the coaches still, even though the numbers were there to prove it, they were oblivious and just kept going with the senior because he was a senior. So until we played Oxnard, we were playing Oxnard, and he put Allen in, and he really wasn't going anywhere. And for some reason, he felt like he didn't want to put me in. But when my running back coach finally told him to put me in, and my running back coach just sent me in and took Allen out. I think we drove down the field, and then I ended up scoring into a touchdown. And then he took me out, and then he put Allen back in. So that game, I got frustrated, and I went over to him, and I told him, I was like, Coach, put me in. I'm getting more. I'm getting more yards than Allen. He was like, no, just wait. And then like a 4th down came, and a 3rd down came. And it was like 3rd and 3. And like Allen, if he would have just put his foot in the ground and get upfield, he would have got the 1st down. And I felt like I could have did that.
Yeah.
So I went over there. I was like, I could have got that 1st down, Coach. If you're not gonna play me on offense, I'm just gonna stick strictly to defense, and I won't go back on offense. And then that following week, I was starting.
So at the end of your junior year, playoff game against South Hill, I was there. That was one of the most disgusting games I didn't ever seen. Penalties out the yin yang. Like they really didn't want y'all to win. But in all that effort, like you guys still showed out. Like you guys were there in that game, even with the refs counting you guys out.
And we sent that film to CIF for the refs, because if you think you had a game where the refs were miscalled or they're not doing their job right, you send in the game film to CIF, and they'll like analyze it and see where the calls and what was missed and stuff like that. And we got an email back from CIF apologizing for those refs, and those refs are no longer playing reffing CIF games.
Yeah, because that
was sick.
That screwed you guys out. That
was sick.
Because even with all the stuff that was going on, I think you guys only lost by like 3 points.
Yep.
But to me, that game was like a turning point for you, especially. One, because the other team, they saw what you're capable of doing, so even you told me when like you got off the field, they came up to you and they said that they respected your game.
Yeah, I had, because I was towards, when we shook hands, I was upset. So I was like towards the back of the pile. Well, I was like towards the middle, but the back we had a lot of players. So, but I was walking past, and then like I was walking, I was good game, and then like the coaches, like all the coaches, I just hear like, "Where's 20 at? Where's 20 at?" And they're like, "You played a hell of a game," and it was like, "Keep doing what you're doing." He's like, "You still got one more year that you're gonna be big." And I was like, "Thank you."
How did you feel, and what did you feel like you wanted to gain going into your senior season?
I felt like that game, honestly, I think honestly, it was between that game and Mayfair. That was probably one of my junior year. That those two were my best games of the year. But I think South Hills, that loss hurt, because I felt like I felt like I was doing good, but I could have done more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like I could have like got into action more, made something happen, or like made something happen by myself more than I did.
Well, the main call that I think hurt you guys the most was
The pick.
Yeah, no, that wheel route that you went on.
Oh, jeez, you talk about the one where I got tackled 10 yards down the field?
Yeah. So for the listeners that wasn't there, they had you in an I formation, right?
Yeah.
And they had him going on the wheel route. So when he hit the seam going up on the wheel route,
I had cleared the line of scrimmage. So in football, you can, if the running back goes on the route, but he's doing a wheel route, you can tackle him in the backfield. But I had already got past the line of scrimmage. I was 5 yards down the field, and RJ was right about to throw a ball, and he grabs me, and he literally tackles me.
And in the stands, you can see everything that was about to happen. And for you to not get that call, I think that was like the main turning point. Because after that, everybody was just like we're not gonna.
You can't win if they're not gonna let us.
Going off of that, you have your off season, you put in the work in. Senior season, what was your goal?
Kill. I didn't think there's a lot of chatter saying like, well, growing up, there's always been them doubters. Even though I proved it time and time again, they always try to find some flaw in my game. Whether it was I couldn't catch, I'm not big enough, I'm not quick enough, or I can't run in between the tackles. So all of that was it's been fuel since I was a kid. Now, even though I proved everybody wrong time and time again, there was still that chatter of who's the best. So really, I was like, this season was like this senior season. I had to come out, and I got to make sure there's not even a debate.
The Battle of Gonzales happens. The game was close for the most part until the fourth quarter came, and then it was like the fourth quarter, it was like the team just gave up. I don't know what it was, if it had to do with the coaching plays or just mistakes that the team was making on the field. What do you feel that that happened at that last one?
I think what happened was we had so much success. We ain't never had a hard game going into Oxnard, that Oxnard game. So when we got down, I think majority of the team didn't know how to respond. Like they didn't know like, oh, we're down. Like, even though like we keep getting stopped and we can't, even though we can't push that ball forward, we still gotta keep trying. They were like, we keep hitting this brick wall. Like, there's no reason to keep hitting at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt like some players, they didn't know how to take on that adversity that when it hit. But I don't know. I just think some players, I feel like big time players. There was a lot of players claiming that they're the guy.
Yeah.
Big time players make big time plays when the lights come on. So, but when the lights came on, some people shriveled up.
So what was the locker room feeling after that? Because it's like you're a senior. You go 4 years and you lose, the bout of Gonzalez the years that you were there. So Oxnard kind of has like this title hanging over your head, and like they're chirping at the same time. So what was the feel in the locker room?
It was like, honestly, it was rough. Honestly, after that, it was deflated a little bit, because that was kind of like our CIF before CIF. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that was like our biggest playoff game. Like that was a championship, and for us, because we have, our class hasn't beat them in 4 years, so it was kind of like our senior year, like our redemption year type thing. And for us, like, not to get it was like kind of sad. It was like shocking. So it was kind of hard at first, but then it was like now, well, since we lost it, we can't get league. Now we gotta get CIF type thing.
True. So and that's when you guys go start that amazing run. The playoff run was phenomenal. As a team, during the playoffs, you guys had like 22 interceptions?
Yeah.
Crazy. Like lights out defense.
Yeah, Marcus, our DB coach, he knows his stuff. He's one of the best DB coaches in the area. Like, man, he watches so much film. Like, he said he's like, high school routes is easy, bro. It's like all you gotta do is look at the quarterback and watch film, and you'll know every route that's coming. The receiver always has a tendency, and he will always tell us. He always would tell us, and then we'd be on the sideline, and he'll be like, "Hey, yo, it's a corner post," and he'd be like, cut under it and pick it off.
Yeah.
Quarterback gonna get rushed, and he's not gonna be able to get it there. And literally, he ran a corner post, and I cut under it, and I picked it. Like, and he'll be like, "Hey, tell Noel it's a slant on the backside."
Yeah.
It's a slant on the backside, and Noel bats it down. He tells me, stay inside. He's gonna come back to it. I stay inside. He comes back to it. I jam him. The ball goes over his head.
Yeah.
Like, he knows this. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he really knows what he's talking about.
So
he knows the game.
So that just puts you guys at a stronger, like it built a lot of trust within that locker room.
Oh yeah.
So within that run, you guys lose Michael. He went down with a foot injury, and then Savon, he went down with an injury. So it seemed like a couple of your playmakers were getting like put down at a like crucial time, especially like right before the playoffs, and you didn't know that if you were gonna have them. So you had key players like Kyrie step up, and then Noel, he stepped up like big time. That was crucial, in your guys' run. So seeing them step up, like how did it feel to like lighten that load for you a little bit?
Well, honestly, Noel, he's been a baller. Noel, from the get-go, man. Noel, we put him on our best receiver, on the opponent's best receiver every time, and he does not slip. He don't fumble. Like, he's locked down. He's hands down. And Kyrie, he stepped up big time in the playoffs. He did good on defense and offense, because Savon went out, so he had to be that number one receiver. So it really helped us.
Yeah, because I know when those two went down, that's when a lot of chirping started to talk, because they were like, well, they lost their two really good playmakers, so what are they going to do? Like, Pacifica's offense is really tailored around Malik and Michael. What are they going to do now? And it's the adjustments that your coaches made. It showed that you guys were more than just, you and Michael. You guys had other playmakers as well.
Right, exactly.
So, best game of the season, hands down, Lucerne. Being in that stands, feeling that atmosphere, bro, it was crazy. It was worth the ticket.
Oh yeah.
Going into halftime, you guys it was tied, but it felt like Lucerne was up, because just by the way that they played.
It's crazy. Is I actually was I went in the locker room crying, because on that play that they scored right before the half, I felt like, because I honestly, that I was playing that defensive drive, that whole first half, I was playing my heart out, man, and I was like, all right, we still got two more hazards to go. Like, you got to keep this up. Ain't no turning back now. Like, my team need me, and I felt like I was putting my body out there on the line. That game I had 19 tackles, like, and then the touchdown right before the half, me and that dude went heads on, and I felt like he didn't score what I saw when I hit him, because when I hit him, he went under me, and the ball got knocked out, and it was by his legs, and he scooped it, but he was already down, like he's down, his knee was down already, but he scooped it and then put it towards the line of scrimmage, and then he called the touchdown. That's why I was late. If you look at the film, it's a late call.
Yeah.
But I honestly felt like that was a stuff, and that I don't know, but something just in me just like snapped, because I was like, man, this is some BS. Like they were already not giving us a call. Like there was chop blocking on the lineman.
Oh yeah, I was plenty of that.
Yeah, there was chop blocking on the lineman. So I was feeling like, man, these refs are horrible, and I'm playing my heart out, man. This is sick. So I got upset, and I went to the locker room crying. But then I was just like, I went into the restroom, and I just looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, we gotta get this together, because we still got a whole nother half.
And then that's when the second half started. They came out, and Lucerna scored first. And from the look of it, I don't know what it was, but in the stands, it felt like you guys just came out like flat and was like no energy. We were like, they were going on a drive, and then you guys stop them, and then that's when the block punt happens and return for the touchdown, and that pretty much changed the game.
Right.
It just brought like another level of intensity. So what did that? I think it was Kyrie that blocked it. What did that play really do for the rest of the second half?
Man, it sparked a comeback, because I feel like, honestly, we really grew as a team, because honestly, going into that second half, I really was like big on like they were keeping the team up, even though we were even though we were down.
Yeah,
I was like telling everybody, like, keep the team up, because I did not want to, like, I felt like I did not want to go back to the Oxnard game.
Yeah,
where like the team got down and they didn't know how to, like, overcome that. So I'm like, yo, keep it up. Like, we still in this. Like, you know what I mean? It was just a third quarter.
Yeah. And
we still had a whole nother quarter. I'm like, yo, everybody stay up. Like, we got this. And that's when the block punt happened. Then everybody, I felt like that's when everybody was like, oh yeah, we're still in this.
Yeah.
So and then that's just sparked the whole thing.
So then you guys score, and then Lucerna scores again. So then it's tied up going into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter happens, and it was like a defensive shutdown until like the last few drives of the game. Like, you guys went down and scored first, and it was like that last drive that Lucerna had. They started like under their 10 or 20, and then they drove the field and they scored.
It was 41-42. We were just like, now we got a game on our hands. Now we got to play. Like, right, because I think right before we went down there because we were already down there, but when they scored, while we were lining up, I told the team, I was like, oh, we got a game now. Like, we got to come to play. Can't give up now. And then we went, and he missed it. So
it was the most nastiest. He choked. He choked pretty much time. Because that kick, it had no chance of going in. A team from Oakland coming down. You're hearing a whole lot of noise. They're talking, size-wise, they were bigger than you guys. But one thing that they didn't take into account was you guys have fought.
Right.
Like, nothing wasn't easy during that playoff run. But you guys had amazing stats, to prove that you guys were about something. So they came in thinking that they were about to do something. But then when they stepped on the field, what did you guys want them to see, and like what was going into that final game?
Cause actually, when we went on for early outs came out and we was walking out there, they was talking noise at us. We didn't even say nothing. We didn't even put down our bags yet, and they talking noise. So we was like, oh, it's gonna be. Oh, I like this. I was like, I like this. It's gonna be a good game. So they was talking that noise, and then we went over there and we were catching punts, and they were right there, and we were talking that noise, and we were talking back, and they got surprised. And then Coach Moon called it up, and then when we did our chant, we started clapping up, and we was like, oh yeah, y'all in trouble now. It's all over now. And then they just stopped what they was doing, coaches and all. Everybody, they was just looking at what we was doing. And then Coach Moon was like, now make this loud and let them hear what you talking about, because they obviously don't know. And then we did it, and they just watching us do it the whole way, shaking. They ain't say a word after either.
Yeah, because it showed too, especially
Facts.
when the game started. Because I don't think that they expected what they got.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of that game, you guys win. What was the feeling like? Because you got to go back to, you really didn't play your first 2 years that much. Your junior year, you get bounced out by South Hill, and you had a little trouble with the Santa Barbara game. To come back your senior season and win state. What did all that going through all that? How did you feel at the end of it?
It was honestly surreal. I even told my dad like a couple months after. Really, it still felt surreal. Like it really didn't, like the impact that it had really didn't hit us. It really didn't hit me until a little later. But honestly, like it was a huge, and for nobody in the county to win state in football, like it was huge. It meant a lot.
And then to come back to Oxnard and to get a parade, how did you feel going on that parade?
It felt good because it was a huge turnout, man. I didn't expect for that many people to be out there, man. I mean, like every house that we went to had people outside cheering, and like it was honestly, it was beautiful to see the community supporting their like local high schools like that, and so it was really nice.
Season starts during the year. You're getting a bunch of offers, and you choose Fresno State. What was the decision leading up to Fresno? What was the decision to go to Fresno State?
Actually, the truth is, before that, I was actually planning to go to Utah State, to the Aggies. But it was between me and this other running back from Utah, and it was first one to get up. They didn't take any commits unless you talked to the head coach, so you had to take it unofficial. But we wasn't taking it unofficial. We was gonna take it official. So we waited, and I was supposed to go up there, and then the other kid went up there and committed because he went and talked to the head coach.
Yeah.
And then so he committed, so I didn't have my offer to Utah State anymore. So I only had San Jose State in the Mountain West. So now I was like my coach Moon, he just kept telling me just like trust the process, because this is a long and stressful process. So like I just trusted in God, and Fresno State came, and I had always liked Fresno State because of Derek Carr. We Raiders fans. So,
yep.
So Derek Carr went there, so I started looking up on them, and I seen how they were running. Them and Boise was running the Mountain West. So I always liked them. So then when I got the chance and opportunity to play, it was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And like the coaches and stuff, they're awesome. And then so I was also getting recruited by Boise State, but their head coach didn't want any small running backs. He didn't want any running back under 5'10".
Okay.
But the running back coach kept pushing for me, but his coach didn't budge. So that's why I ended up going to Fresno State. But the funny thing is that the coach that recruited me, the running back coach that was there, who recruited me, he got fired. And the guy who was recruiting me at Boise State left Boise State and took the offer at Fresno. So now he's my coach.
So it all worked out.
It all worked out. Facts.
Crazy.
Yeah, so especially when he got there, it was a no-brainer.
What kind of player are they getting? What should they expect from you?
A dog. Gonna give his heart out every play. Ain't nothing gonna stop me neither. Keep going. So I ain't got nothing left. We gonna get a championship. That's for sure.
At the end of your senior season, they tally up all your stats throughout, your 4 years. Basically, I just put it in 2 years because you pretty much played only 2 years. And to see that you lead and you lead the school in rushing yards. 3,206 rushing yards, 13 interceptions, and 53 total touchdowns. Like those stats were enough, or you felt like you could have done more, or is that just perfect to tailor what you accomplished in those 2 years?
I feel like I always feel like I could do more. I feel like there's always room to improve. My mindset, like if you like what those things mean to me now, like don't get me wrong, like I'm appreciative that I'm on the record books episode. It's like pushed in a different side of my brain right now. Like those those are great accomplishments, and I'm thankful for them. But I'm focused on those are old news. You know what I mean? I'm at a new level now. I have to keep elevating myself because now I'm playing at a higher level where there is no bad games. There is no weak. There is no. Everybody's the same skill. Everybody's good. Everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. So now I'm really focusing on this next part and how I could. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that one person that was like. I don't want people to say, oh, Malik was only good in high school. Malik was good. Malik only played good in high school. When he got up to Fresno State, it was too big for him. Yeah. The stage was too big for him. He couldn't do what he could do in high school because he's not big enough. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest thing. I use that as fuel every day. Even when I'm working out, when I'm lifting and stuff like that, when it gets hard, I just tell myself, everything that all the doubters say, he's too small. So if I'm lifting and something gets hard, I just say to myself, I'm too small and push through it. I'm too small. Fresno State is too big for him. He won't make it. He's not strong enough, And that stuff gets me through. It just gets me through my workout, and it just makes me push harder and harder to prove all them haters wrong. So I get to that point. So when my accomplishments and my stats get to that point, there's you can hate, but then you just look foolish. There's nothing you can say the stats prove it.
Thank you for your time, man. It was a great interview. I had to learn, people watching, learn some stuff about you. And like me being your uncle, seeing you from a kid to where you are now, like it's words can't explain. So, I mean, I'm proud of you. I'm gonna continue to be there. When you go to Fresno, I'm gonna be at tailgating. I'm gonna drink my face off.
Facts.
I might have to get me a gray sweater because I don't wear red that much. So, but we gonna be there. We gonna keep supporting you. I always got your back. I appreciate you giving me this time and space.
Yes, sir.
To all you guys, thank you for listening to another episode. Peace.